Hello, my name is Lindsay Deskins, and today I'll be presenting research from two peer-reviewed journal articles that explore how body image, body satisfaction, and self-objectification change across the lifespan. These studies help explain why women experience their bodies differently at different ages, and how these patterns connect to what I see every day in my work in aesthetics. Women are often socially valued for their appearance, and many learn from a young age that being attractive can influence how they are treated. Cultural beauty expectations, such as image ideals, media messaging, and comparisons, shape how women feel about their bodies. These pressures can influence emotional well-being and self-esteem. The research I reviewed examines how these pressures affect women differently across life stages, and how they shape confidence, emotional health, and body image over time. The first article, The Relationship Between Body Satisfaction and Self-Esteem in Women Throughout the Lifespan, looks at how strongly body satisfaction relates to self-esteem across different ages. The researchers wanted to compare whether appearance remains central to self-worth throughout life, or whether women begin relying on different sources of confidence and self-worth as they age. The researchers predicted that body satisfaction levels would be similar across younger and older women, but that body satisfaction would matter more for the self-esteem of younger women. They also expected the relationship between appearance and self-worth to weaken with age, as older women rely more on identity, relationships, and function rather than external appearance. A key concept in this study is body satisfaction, how positively or negatively someone evaluates their appearance and physical features. Body satisfaction is strongly linked to self-esteem and influences emotional well-being and identity, which makes it important to understand how that relationship shifts with age. For the first part of the study, the researchers used a cross-sectional design, meaning they measured all participants once and compared age groups at a single point in time. The goal was to compare body satisfaction and self-esteem across age groups. The sample included 806 women, with half between 18 to 64 and half 65 or older. Participants completed standardized self-report scales that measured body satisfaction, self-esteem, BMI discrepancy, and figure ratings. Although a cross-sectional design cannot show how individuals personally change over time, it provides a valuable snapshot of age-related differences. It helps researchers identify early patterns in how appearance and self-worth function across different stages of adulthood. Results of the cross-sectional study showed that body satisfaction levels were similar across age groups, but had a much weaker impact on self-esteem for older women. Older women placed greater value on body mobility and health than on appearance. Appearance mattered with age, but it wasn't as central to their sense of self. This suggests a gradual shift in how self-worth is defined, moving from appearance toward function and well-being. The second part of the study used a longitudinal design, meaning the same participants were followed over time to observe developmental change. Over 22,000 women ages 18 to 91 were tracked for nearly a decade, from 2010 to 2019, using yearly measures of body satisfaction and self-esteem. Unlike cross-sectional studies, longitudinal designs reveal how experiences evolve within individuals over time. Longitudinal results confirmed that body satisfaction continued to predict self-esteem, but the strength of that link weakened with age. Older women also showed more stable, and in some cases higher, self-esteem overall, suggesting greater emotional resilience. Priorities shifted with age towards health, function, and independence. This suggests that women's self-worth becomes less appearance-based with age. Connecting this research to my work as a master esthetician, these findings align closely with what I see in practice. I have the privilege of working with patients of all ages, including those over 65, and understanding the research helps me better recognize the emotional motivations behind why women seek cosmetic treatments at different ages. Older patients value health, function, and vitality over appearance and often want their appearance to reflect how they feel, vibrant and confident, not necessarily younger. Younger patients tend to be more influenced by online beauty ideals such as social media, trends, and comparisons. Seeing these patterns helps me tailor my approach to focus on education while emphasizing confidence, self-care, and health, not just cosmetic outcomes. Working in aesthetics helps me see how self-esteem evolves, and support women feeling confident at every age. The second article, Body Image Across the Lifespan in Adult Women, focuses on self-objectification, which means viewing and evaluating the body from an outside observer's perspective. While the first article examined how body satisfaction connects to self-esteem across ages, this study looks deeper at the psychological process behind those age differences, specifically, how much women monitor, judge, and evaluate their appearance. The researchers examined how self-objectification and body image shift with age, and how those changes relate to emotional well-being. They wanted to test whether appearance concerns decrease, and body acceptance increases as women get older. The researchers predicted that self-objectification, appearance anxiety, and body monitoring would all decrease with age. They expected older women to report less body shame and greater acceptance, while younger women would show higher concern about appearance due to cultural and social pressures. A key concept in this study is self-objectification, which comes from objectification theory and refers to evaluating the body primarily based on how it looks, rather than how it feels or functions. It is associated with appearance anxiety, body monitoring, and lower self-esteem and is linked to a higher risk for eating disorders and body shame. Understanding this concept matters because it helps explain why appearance-focused thinking affects emotional well-being differently across ages, and why decreases in self-objectification can contribute to greater body acceptance and emotional resilience over time. The goal of the study was to examine age differences in self-objectification, body shame, and body image. The researchers used a cross-sectional study that included 322 women ages 20 to 84. Participants completed validated questionnaires on self-objectification, body shame, and aspects of body image. This design allowed researchers to compare how different age groups experience appearance-related thoughts and feelings, and how these relate to emotional well-being. The study found a clear age-related pattern. Self-objectification, appearance anxiety, and body monitoring all decreased with age. Body satisfaction increased as women age. Older women reported less appearance anxiety and greater acceptance than younger women. These patterns show how emotional well-being improves as women shift away from external evaluation. This research helped me understand why older patients often describe feeling freer and more authentic. Their focus shifts to comfort, well-being, self-acceptance, and expression. Younger patients are more likely to internalize beauty ideals and tie worth to their appearance, and tend to evaluate themselves more through external approval. Recognizing these patterns helps me support both groups with a confidence-based approach focused on awareness and empowerment rather than appearance. Understanding self-objectification helps explain why letting go of constant self-evaluation supports deeper confidence and authenticity. Both studies highlight how cultural beauty standards shape how women across ages define body image, confidence, and self-esteem. Media exposure and social norms create different pressures for younger and older generations. Younger generations face constant visibility, digital comparison, and curated images, while older generations grew up with more realistic expectations. This research highlights the importance of promoting more diverse and inclusive representations of beauty, supporting healthier, more compassionate relationships with the body. Understanding sociocultural influences helps promote self-acceptance across generations. Across both studies, we see that women's relationships with their bodies evolve meaningfully with age. Appearance becomes less central to identity, while confidence becomes more rooted in health, function, and well-being. Even though cultural beauty standards still influence self-esteem, older women tend to show more resilience because they rely less on external evaluation. Younger women face more pressure from media and comparison, especially in today's digital environment. When we help women shift the focus from appearance to well-being, we not only strengthen self-esteem, we help create a culture where every stage of life is valued. These findings show that supporting body appreciation earlier in life can have lasting benefits. With continued research, more inclusive media representation, and supportive practices in fields like aesthetics, future generations can experience greater confidence, authenticity, and self-acceptance throughout their lives. These are the two peer-reviewed articles that informed my presentation. One is a recent study published in 2025, and the other is a foundational article widely cited in research on body image and self-objectification. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I appreciate your time and attention.